Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. I am Shawn, always excited to come back and do this show every week. Now, we may, for those of you that time the show, and I know we have Miss Barbara out there who watches it carefully. It's going to be a little abbreviated today, so if you hear me kind of speed through some things, do understand that, because I still want to get as many things shown to you as possible. And there's going to be some surprise sale items. So, hope all of you ladies had a wonderful, happy Valentine's Day. And because the way the show times and the way I record it, I apologize for not wishing you in the last show a happy Valentine's Day to you ladies. But you know what? You're just one of the guys, because when you talk about rocks and minerals and fossils and stuff, you know, the greatest thing is it's one of those hobbies that you can't think that it's like a guy hobby. Not at all. Some of the greatest, best, most passionate rock hounds and mineralogists ever have been, including scientists, have been you ladies. So, you know, when it's like that, like the Raven, man, I would rather have her next to my side than without her, because she adds to the experience. When, you know, she's not going to be sitting there like some other choices I've made in life. You know, it's like, when are we going to have lunch? Or when's the sun going to go behind the tree? Sorry, but, you know, it can go that way, as opposed to, you know, just you want to pan that creek from sun up to sundown, milk everything out of the day that you can, especially if, you know, you're not, if it's like, say, an experience to diamond hunting out in Arkansas. No matter what, you have a limited number of days, and you want to squeeze the most out of every one of those days. Let's get to the comments. I could talk all day long, you know, about different experiences, because if you notice, and look at me, no part of my brain stops working when I pause. I'm clicking through 50 plus years of experiences in from rock hunting, rock hounding, to going to 6 continents around the world and having mining experiences in all of them, and all those wonderful memories to share as well. So, okay, let's get started on the comments. Okay, so this one is from last week. Okay, so as almost always, the show records on Thursday. We don't always know when it's going to be posted, but now we have a new schedule in posting. Have you noticed that? Well, I know Barbara did, and we'll talk about that when we get to that comment. Anyway, if you by 7 a.m., you know, I'm up really early. Like this morning, on the days on Thursdays that I record the show, it takes a long time to get here, for one, to the studio from the, you know, I live in the Gold Belt, so that's way quite far away from here geologically. Well worth it, though. And on the edge of the forest, what they call the Dawson Wildlife Management Area. It's a 25,000 acre tract, and it is wilderness. So anyway, I get up real early, about 4 a.m., and sometimes earlier. And if you get your comments, by the time I kind of get to printing them off and whatnot, it's like by 7 a.m. So by 7 a.m. every Thursday, you have to get your comments in. After that, they usually won't make it on the following, you know, Monday show, but they will make it on then the next show. And so that's what happened with this one from Mr. Charles in Oregon and his lovely Heidi. Hello, Professor Raven and Rock family. I'm eagerly awaiting my new acquisitions, the fluorescent coral specimens. Wow. You got those. So I know that you like the fluorescents. I know Brad liked the fluorescents. And I like to know where they wound up because let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about them. Again, so many times you get that chartreuse or yellow fluorescence from the chalcedony in the corals. Not the case in these. I received multiple outstanding fluorescent collector's pieces, including, oh, he's been gathering them up, the 11-pound geode. That was a treasure. The phone rep was surprised when she heard my carefully worded explanation of my coprolite order. Great potty fun. Thanks so much. It absolutely is, Charles, and the sales reps are wonderful. A lot of them, of course, have been there for a long time and know this show, know that come when the show posts on Monday, if they're working, they're going to get some unusual phone calls requesting some different things. And I'm glad that you have fun with them. I'm glad that you had fun, because that's the whole idea. For the small one, remember, I think I still have some coprolite left. You know, wonderful turtle poop. Frozen in time, and you know, for $12 for the small one, $15 for the bigger one, from an adult to a little child who grows up to be an adult, it's still a fun item, and to adult who is always a little child, if they're a guy, then they will have the rest of their lifetime of fun. Could you imagine leaving it in front of the toilet? When
My grandpa left me shit after he died.
There is that too. The play on you could have, as in
Would you leave your grandkids with you that way?
Exactly. You could have so much fun with. This is what I'm going to leave you, grandkids, and have it hold it out in your hand. You know, as an elderly man, oh my gosh, Grandpa would have so much fun with the kids with that, terrorizing them basically, you know, and or reaching down in his trousers and pulling out. It's like, oh, Grandpa missed the toilet.
I've been saving this rare treasure for millions of years for you.
You know, they exactly. Grandpa could say they called me a fossil sometimes, and they might be right. I have proof. You know, it's endless fun. It's more fun than the barrel of monkeys. And I had a barrel of monkeys. I don't know. Austin may be too young to have had the barrel of monkeys. But you know, you dump out all those monkeys whose arms, little plastic monkeys whose arms intertwined, and you saw how many you could pick up with each. Now I could tell Austin's not comedy. He's saying, Shawn, you've lost your mind. Yeah, he had no idea about it. That was, they discontinued. Probably some kid choked on one or something. You know. Yeah, a barrel full of monkeys. I think that saying came before they made the barrel full of monkeys, but there really was. There was about 50 monkeys, and they were different colored, and they made it into kind of a game. I later made them into target practice with my BB gun, but I do remember playing that game. So, yeah. Some of those were the days. Born in 1961. I remember, because they would bring the TV into our class for all the lunar launches, the moon landing. Yes, I remember the moon. I also wasn't even born during the moon landing. I'd swap him with that memory for his younger age, believe me. Okay, so let's see, where were we? See, Charles, all you have to do is say coprolite around here, and you know, Dave's not here at the moment, so we're one man down from the peanut gallery. Trivia. What is the most common mineral in the Earth? This was last week. In the Earth's crust, remember, it was feldspar, extra credit. He got it right for quartz, so I'll repeat that knowledge for everybody else. What other country mentioned is known to have amber with insects? Dominican Republic is the correct answer, and so well done. Happy Mardi Gras, he says. Matt from Shiner, Texas. Okay, so Matt goes on in following up in this week. Okay, everyone has to listen to this. Good evening, Professor. I want to be the first to reply, and Matt, you are the first. So because the way I take them off, I take them in the reverse order. So in other words, if whoever does write first, that's the first one I read. I want to be the first to reply. I purchased the Econite and beautiful Thuya wood box, and am thrilled to have something so rare as part of my collection. Wow. I should ring a bell, ding, 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 because I actually showcased and featured one of those in the live show. You know, that was over 7 years ago. And I said that it was intended only for a responsible collector. I didn't go into the detail, nor did I bring out the Geiger counter. And of course, I stay away from the R word or that funny little round sign with the pie-shaped triangles in it. But I know with all of you, you have gotten to this point because of the slow doctrinization or brainwashing of collecting those type of minerals, you know, collecting something a little different. And gemstones, it is the rarest and most valuable radioactive signature gemstone there is. And it is also fairly recently, newly discovered in 1953. And so in the live show, so anyway, I presented it like that. I didn't bring out the bells and whistles like I did for all of you, and nothing sold. No one was interested. Not a single call. As a matter of fact, the phone lines went dead to no one on the line. I scared them all off. It was kind of funny in a way, but I realized that my audience wasn't ready for that. Now, all of you are, because I'm going to read on, and then I'm going to read on. So I think it did help with my demonstration. Who in the world can whip out a $1,000, $1,200 Geiger counter and show you right there? Because the nice thing about this, remember the old time ones you see on TV? They have a probe with a flexible wire attached to a handheld box with a meter, and it does its little thing with multiple devices. Well, now, of course, with modern electronics, everything can be handheld and with just 2 buttons for scrolling controls, and it works really, really well. So, especially in this situation, because I can show you at the same time. So anyway, I need to get going on this, but I get so excited about talking because Matt, he got the one. Now he makes it sound like he bought the Thuya wood box. No, the Thuya wood box comes with the stone because I actually, luckily, just work with Christy in inventory, and it works out great because on items like that, and I've already even sent her your email, Matt, so everyone is well aware. And let me tell everybody else. So let me finish reading what Matt has to say. Then I'll go backwards. I also purchased today's fluorescent special piece. And please reserve and arrange the sale for both of the other Econites you showed, plus any useful containers for storage you can spare or sell. I am 65 and a responsible and semi-retired educator. You checked the right boxes there, Matt. A representative for GSN can contact me for the sale as my card is on file, or I can call when an email is sent to me to call and pay. Thanks for all you do for us. Matt in China, Texas. Matt, wow, that's great. I'm glad to see, and it does matter that you're a responsible collector, because and I see that you did do your homework and have looked them up. I'm actually going to flash those because once they're gone, they're gone. And those are the only 3 I have. So I actually didn't expect you or anyone to get them. And yeah. am a little regretful because now I won't have something that is really rare and one of those things that there's only so much of. It's really, really a rare stone. And those were beautifully cut, especially the larger ones. So, so they're yours, Matt. And what I have to do is, so when you said it comes with, no, the Thuya wood box is necessary because as I showed you, it acts, and it's not all woods. You put up balsa wood, you put up some other woods, and it will not nearly have the, even other hardwoods, the blocking effect of Thuya wood. I'm not sure if it's the oil content because Thuya wood is actually one of the woods that they extract a, well, it's very aromatic, so there's a oil resin they can extract from it. So I don't know if that is, and that may be in the wood that helps really act like a lead barrier because except for the malachite box, it really cut down. So you're gonna get a free Thuya wood box, which with each of your purchases, and so I told Christy to make sure that she handled the wrapping and shipping of it to be just as I presented it to her, so that it would be safely packaged and yeah, pass all the requirements for that. And so that all has, so by the time you get this, you have already received that because I was going to have them send it all at once, but nope, the efficiency of Gem Shopping has already sent those other items on. And so congratulations on getting the other two. Mr. Jimbo says, hello, Shawn and fellow rock stars. I like the start of that. I am so sorry to hear about the passing of Anthony's mother. And we all are. She was 96 years old. Wow. Again, I feel so smart after watching your show, Shawn. Another informative show. I will answer trivia questions. Alluvial in washes, REE, rare earth elements, because the questions were, what type of mining led to the discovery of econite? Answer was alluvial. And so that is opposed to ore or vein mining, hard rock mining, where they dig a tunnel or an open pit. The alluvial involves water or water at some time. So many times old washes out west, whatever you find is water worn, but there's no water, it's a dry gulch. It's dry creek mining. And they look water worn, but there's no water at the time. Alluvial mining, where there was or is the presence of water. Now, most of the time, it's involves literally mining it out of a creek, and that's the most commonly thought version of it. But it doesn't mean that you can't get the water-worn look to gemstones and everything else from dry areas. For example, in Sri Lanka and Burma, many times, again, the river channel has moved away over time, and where at one time, when it wore out and eroded out the gems from a particular vein at a particular bench or level on the side of a hill, so over time, you got to think like the Grand Canyon, you know, as it wears down, over time, it came across that particular vein, washed those gemstones or gold, any kind of ore, into the river, and it tumbled down the river, but then, let's say a big flood came up, and it shifts the river channel to another position, and it could be only a 10-wide creek, but still can happen. And all of a sudden, where the gold and all the goodies aren't in any of the current part of where the river channel or creek channel flows. it is in an area completely far away in geologic time, thousands or millions of years prior. And so alluvially is how it got deposited in those areas by the creek and by the action of water. But when you go down, you have to dig upwards of 30, 40, 50 feet in some areas of the alluvial mining in Ceylon and Burma, because again, those creeks are in a different place, flow in a different area. That's when you see them timber, using bamboo mostly, going straight down the sides. In the bottom, it's always water coming into the shaft because, they're getting at the same water level where the current creek is, or below it even, and that's always a problem. And they are literally running up a 5-gallon bucket, hand-filled at a time. Dangerous, slow mining, and a lot of times very little money. But when you hit the big one, then it may all be worth it. But that's a long shot. If it wasn't, then it wouldn't be worth what they're worth. A commonly used abbreviation in gem and mineral terminology is REE. What does it stand for? Rare earth elements. It's certainly easier to write REE than it is than rare earth elements. So Jimbo gets both of the answers right. In his closing, he says, as we go about our walk of life, keep your eyes to the ground. Who knows what's to be found? Blessings to all. Jimbo in Delaware. Mr. Matt in Texas. Good evening, Professor. I sent an email yesterday requesting that you reserve both of the other 2 Econite gems for me. I purchased the small one also, and also left a note with a rep for you to set the 2 aside for me. I can be contacted to purchase the card on file. We're going to make sure you get that, Mr. Matt. Such fascinating treasures every week. I received an email that the Spanish fluorite and barite and the amber crab are on their way here. Very envious of the lucky soul who got the huge fibrous malachite. So I wasn't aware that somebody had bought that large malachite until that comment there. So apparently Matt tried to get it. Matt, I may, it won't be quite as large, but I am going to, I think you might be able to, yeah, since you're willing to go with the odd and the different as far as the Econites go, I'll see what I have left. I know I have some amazing still fibrous malachite I have in my collection, and I may just turn another one loose. It won't be quite as large as that, but I think it may be as beautiful. So let me see what I have and see if it might work for you. Here are my trivia answers. Trivia, let's see, getting what type of mining led to the discovery of Econite? Sri Lanka in alluvial gravel of Ceylon gem mining. Ekonayaki, however you might pronounce that, found that 2 cab gems had unusual optical and physical properties. That's correct, because remember, the Econite from the natural radiation within the stone itself, not from external radiation like what can happen with green zircons. Now, green zircons can have REEs within their structure, but as part of Econite's chemical makeup itself, not an external inclusion or a external ground around it, but the composition of Econite itself is has radioactive elements in it, thorium. So that will make it metamict, which basically is a crystal structure that becomes amorphous. In other words, no longer a crystalline array of the molecules in it. And so it can sometimes be a little hazy, and that would be something to spot and be able to tell that something doesn't look quite right. 1953 it was. A commonly used abbreviation, gem and mineral terminology, REE. What does REE stand for? Rare earth elements. So you're getting those right. All the best, Mr. Matt in Texas. Cindy says, hello, Rock Family Fine. First of all, my condolences to Anthony on the loss of his mother, of his dear mother. It was a wonderful show, Shawn. I just love all the information on radioactivity and rare earth elements. Trivia. Getting both of them right. Till next week, everyone. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. 5 to 7 inches of snow tonight. Shall I send it all down to Georgia? Yes, you can. Bring it on. We are so far looking like not going to happen for us, but we're crossing our fingers. Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello, all great show. Cool presentation / experiment. And I love Asif's term, nuking the fiend. That's beautiful. Where else do you see stuff like this? Keep doing it. Asif is like your Ed McMahon. You guys crack me up. Oh, yes. That's. I was just going to say, what am I supposed to do? Just, throw my papers at him now and that. Oh, Ed.
I'm the drunk guy who shows up with millions of dollars.
Johnny it never would have been the right show without Ed. Yeah, Ed, he was a must. What a team! What a team! Glad to see Austin was old enough to be able to catch some Johnny Carson. Yeah, oh yeah. Anthony getting both of the questions right. Again, great show. Eyes down. Miss Gabby says, greetings, gang, and thank you, Asif. What's with all this Asif stuff, huh? No.
That's right, Johnny.
As a matter of fact, that's what Johnny would have said, if Ed would have gotten too much of attention. He was Oh, cracking me up over there, Ed. Greetings, gang, and thank you, Asif, for what I consider a special shout-out. It is true that meeting you was the highlight of my visit. When I returned and told my GSN rock friends about my trip, you were the first person I talked about meeting. And a big heart sign there. In red. Wow. On day after Valentine's, can't beat that. I'll read on. Oh my, I had noticed a couple of my amber pieces I had from you had started drying out, and even a chip fell off one. Shame on me for not thinking of this, but as soon as you mentioned it, that's me, I paused the show and gave all my amber animals I have purchased over the years a mineral oil bath. Thank you. Yes, so if you missed out on that last week, something Shawn said, not Ed over there, Shawn said that amber, and not all ambers, but, it depends. It depends on whether they're polished. It depends on inclusions in them or whatnot. But you can get surface drying out, kind of similar to opal. And that happens and can happen with amber. So you want to really do just a light oil on it. If you actually fiddle with it enough, kind of like opal, your oils on your skin could be enough of a barrier. But if you just put a little bit of a mineral oil on the surface, it's perfect to keep them from drying out. But the other thing also, it helps fill in some of the surface pitting or existing cracks, and it will, it's kind of like heat treating, except it's just a surface finish that oil that you put on it, and it will definitely enhance the clarity of it, so the surface clarity of it. And often beneficial. And remember, it's just a thin bit of oil. You can always just really take a paper towel and wipe it all back off. But it certainly prevents what Miss Gabby just discovered, and very wise of her to pause the show right then and there, and because one piece had already had a piece that had fallen off. And that just my experience has been that the Indonesian material, due to its organic nature, has a greater tendency to possibly have a drying effect. Okay, so Miss Gabby goes on to say, yes, I did receive the pretty ammonite, and thanked you in an email a few weeks back. It was in a postscript that I must have missed it. Yep, because I probably did didn't look back, so I apologize for that. I just looked towards the next week's comments, and well, the way my email box is set up, it's kind of wonky. So anyway, it's a GSN one. I mentioned that I was getting ready to call customer service to set up a return when I looked more closely at the invoice as it stated for Miss Gabby. Thank you once again. I did not have a whole smaller one, and I just thought that might work for your collection. I was able to get the Darth Vader amber piece. Way cool. I was surprised it was there when I took a chance and ordered. Even without the bug, I thought it was a very pretty piece of amber. I am seriously considering, an Econite. The collector in me might just outweigh my radiation exposure fears. Yeah, so there you go. Decision was made for you, and that way you don't have to worry about thinking about that. So get something else. I think you were getting them though just for the Thuliawood boxes, because I can't sell the Thuliawood boxes. You only get them on special occasions, like as a free item, part of a free item, or if you buy Econites, because they act as a lead chamber. Okay, so I also saw your PS on this, mentioning Miss Barbara's level of knowledge. So that's some interesting info. Miss Elisa in Florida says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew, and Rock family. Professor, you really had a great show again this week. Loved all the information you provided about Econite. My answers to this week's questions are alluvial and rare earth element. My favorite item of the week was the emerald specimen from the Crabtree mine. Have a great week, everyone. Elisa, yep, not only was the Crabtree specimen cool, but the story behind it, how I had it for so long in having gotten it in a state of how I often get things, and then didn't even open that little bag for a long, long time, and lo and behold, also there's thulite in there, so I'll you may be seeing that and get an opportunity on that, because thulite, spruce pine area, is only, so it would make sense that it would be with the other spruce pine material, because it's only one of the few areas in the United States you can actually find, which is pink zoisite. So pretty neat about that. Mr. Brad says, Shawn, the feeble, that's that's me. I'm sorry about that. The freebie arrived in time for my birthday. Thanks. You have blessed me. May the Lord bless you in return beyond measure, Brad. And so here's the wild thing. Now, remember, if you followed Brad, of course, Brad is a friend of Barbara's and Miss Gabby, and a collector. And he had won a Thuliawood box back in November, and it had, I remember, it had a piece of azurite in it, a little piece of azurite, and also an aquamarine crystal. Well, per somebody else with an inventory, they put in the wrong customer number, and so it went to somebody else that wasn't a regular purchaser. So they didn't return it, even though upon asking for the return. So I created another one, and of course it had to be better than the first one. So another Thuliawood box, and a golden barrel in it, and a nicer piece of malachite and azurite. And so the second box that I just told Christy, I said, I just made this up. I said, just forget trying to collect the other one. Let's not wait any longer. Let's send this new and improved version of the freebie to Brad. And instead of it arriving on a unimportant date in November, the magic of this show, so many times, it truly is, worked again because now it arrived just in time for his birthday. He didn't know that I had made up another one. He was just still waiting on the first one. And lo and behold, the show's serendipitous ways worked again. Miss Barbara says, hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Loved your energy these past few shows. That fibrous malachite was a hefty knockout of a piece. Thanks for straightening out my misconception that all amber from the Dominican Republic was copal. I sure had the wrong end of that stick. We all do at times. Musing on what the most abundant element would be versus most abundant mineral or whatnot, which was, of course, feldspar, with quartz being second. Most abundant element would be oxygen. Seemed logical and turned out to be right at 49.5%, followed by silicon at 23%. Remember, silicon is it's SiO2, silicon dioxide. That is quartz. So there you have the two most common elements making up the second most common mineral. And aluminum at 8%. Aluminum, that's kind of odd, isn't it? Lead's atomic number is 82, thorium is 80, uranium is 92, and carbon is 6. That's why uranium is so heavy. The weight of it, the atomic number weight, and carbon is so light because it's only a 6. Those numbers also happen to be the number of protons in the nuclei. I think Barbara's trying to give us a well-needed chemistry lesson. All those other numbers like U-238, thorium-232, potassium-40, and C-14, carbon-14, that might sound familiar from carbon-14 dating, are heavy, naturally occurring isotopes. Except for the carbon-14, that's not as heavy as that. Heavier, though. Thank you for that. As to the trivia, econite was found in alluvial gravel deposits looking for corundum, spinel, and zircons. REE stands for rare earth elements, which are the new commodity stars. It's very true. In the 1940s, they were turning over every rock for uranium. Now it's for specialty elements to make our phones work and to detect cancer. Oh, and making super strong magnets for Shawn to tease garnets with. Yes, I like to do that. Being neodymium, and that's such a really rare sounding element, isn't it? It has such magical powers. One is never far from me, except I always have to watch what it's near. I even especially bagged it, as you can see, but it decided to go through that heavy bag and easily pick up my UV flashlight. That's never very far away from me either. Had a quick shot of snow, which was pretty but short-lived. Hope everyone has been safe and warm, and varied winter weather transits the country. Be well all, Miss Barbara from Brooklyn. This is one more thought. This past week's show for Monday, 2/12, labeled 2/9/24, dropped on Super Bowl Sunday 2/11 at 3:30 in the afternoon. Didn't it, though? That was a delightful surprise. Please feel free to do that again anytime you wish. Hey, once you get it in the can, why not share it? Cheeky Barbara from Brooklyn. That's what I thought, because oftentimes now, with the way that new system that Asif has set up with getting our show posted, it has been working out wonderfully. So you may see the show all of a sudden be dropped on a Sunday if it is all ready to go. Why not? All right, so we worked the magic, and we picked this week's lucky trivia winner, and that winner is Matt in Texas. Let's show Matt what he has won. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that cool? Now, I actually made this slice. So this is a Bahia emerald slice with my spray coating, which you can put more spray on it. You can actually see the crystalline length of that. Here's other crystals, and on the other side. And I actually saw a program on TV the other day talking about that huge Bahia emerald crystal that's in dispute, who owns it and how much it's worth and all. Well, you know, it's not worth nearly as what they say, but they're pretty anyway because they're large, and you can see that in this way I thought it would make a wonderful display slice, and you can add these 4 crystals or anything you want to do with them, because look at that, there are actually some nice shapes to those. So yeah, have fun with that. Nothing like a emerald slice base to go with 4 emerald crystals. Congratulations, Matt, and I'll be right back with the start of the show. Look at this. Now, that is a hidden treasure amongst a very valuable specimen, because let me show you what the whole of this crystal looks like as we take that away. And wow, wow, look at that. Look at this. Now, you could really get an idea of size when we put my hand up next to that. And as we dim the light a little, you'll be able to see really how rich the color is. Look at that. Now, look at the other side. Yes, if there was, I don't know, I like other crystals. So if there's an aesthetic side, I would pick this one. Some others might like the other side. We're looking at lepidolite mica. And lepidolite, of course, is that mica that can be lavender color, even yellow. I have brought in yellow lepidolite. And you can, in this piece, you can see that there is a shade of lavender to it, and how well crystallized the lepidolite. Of course, lepidolite being a type of mica, so you get that tabular look, even though it can be a completely different color, you still get that lamellar, layered, because it's what they call a phyllosilicate. Phyllo, a word for leaf, and you get that, definitely that layered leaf look to that. Incredible colors, and you have terminations of even white to clear tourmaline, acrolite, and then also you get the other bicolor look with the pink center and the white exterior. Also, these are the actual natural terminations. It hasn't been sawn through. Those are the way the crystal actually ended, which is a little bit different than some of the other type of terminations. You can see the classic trillion shape to these. Look at, there's the top of the mica crystals that we looked in from this angle. Now you're seeing them from the top, and that classic layered look. This is a very attractive and aesthetic piece, and coming from Paprock, Afghanistan, very desirable location for tourmaline collectors. This one's been tucked away for quite some time. I know it was mined in the 90s. I have a sale price now on this one. If you wait long enough, that's what can happen. Yeah, I have an amazing deal on this. It's a really valuable piece, where these kind of tourmaline cluster specimens. It was $778. Let me do something stunning and make that probably kind of a one-time deal here. It'll probably have to go back in the collection if it doesn't sell at this opportunity. But if you waited for a sale price on it, let me flash this other side again. Look at that. Look at all that going on. That is a lot of weight, 523 carats. Well, let's figure, these pieces aren't sold by the carat. If anything, they're kind of sold by just the aesthetics. How does it look, upon glance? And I would say that this would have to be worth $523. How's that? Only $1 a carat, which, like I said, is not the way it's done, but it's the way I'm doing it today. Huge discount, and it's because I still need those teeth. So, gotta get them somehow, and you just can't rob the old banks like you could in the old West if you was an old grizzled miner. Or how about doing some claim jumping? I looked into claims when I lived in Denver.
Do dumpster dump.
That's right. I need my sidekick over there. Then we can do some definite claim jumping. Yeah, so I looked into filing claims when I was in Denver. And you know, that was before everything on computers, okay? So I actually had to go down. I actually went to the Geological Survey maps and really did a lot of research on it, and found out that you can claim jump if someone hasn't worked on their, quote, claim in a period of not that many years. They had to excavate X number of yards of dirt and these different rules, but you could absolutely take over the claim. And in general, in the eastern United States, we have what they call BLM land, Bureau of Land Management land. It's how where all the cows get grazed upon, and the land is leased to millions of acres of Bureau Land Management land can be leased by cow and grazers and farmers, ranchers, this kind of thing. You can also, though, on that land, file mining claims, and especially for agate and whatnot, and get your X number of acres, usually like 40 acres and a mule, they say. At least you can still maybe get and make these claims and do your work on it, and or take over existing claims. So that's as far as I got before I got a real paying job when I was 21 back east. So I headed back east, and then life took a different turn. So take advantage of this guy at that opportunity, and you can't go wrong. Let me show you a made in the USA specimen, and I am amazed I have it. It is item number 115-1224. If I said this was from the Argonaut mine, what would I be talking about? If I said this was the hardness of 1, the softest mineral in the Mohs scale of hardness, what would I be talking about? Look at the color of this. That is by far the prettiest talc I have ever seen. Now, I have showed you up at Chunky Gal, the serpentine family. Well, the serpentine family, as you go down a little bit softer, and as things change, you get a fibrous type of variety, and then, eventually you get to the asbestos, where you've seen me pull threads of it off a specimen before that I had. Well, this asbestos is I say asbestos because they're somewhat related. Talc. Talc is from the Arabic word for pure, because even though this is green, if I crushed it up into its powder form, I think it would be white. You mostly see and have heard of talcum powder as being white, and this is stunning material. In the early 2000s, they hit some of this beautiful, from Vermont. You don't hardly hear of anything from Vermont, but leave it to Vermont, which I have traveled extensively, to have something so beautiful as talc in this color. It makes me want to break out in song. Look at the clarity. And let me just back the light. Let me get my magical flashlight here and just really show you how it really lights up this piece. So the transparency just really radiates through this piece. So, yeah, look at that. All right, now, again, that green, the thought of Vermont brings to mind a certain movie. I won't say any more than that. Might be a trivia question. All right, so this piece it is the oldest. Talc also is the oldest known item used for white pigment. It's a magnesium silicate, hydroxysilicate. So it has silicon and oxygen and a hydroxy molecule, which is OH. And chemistry similar to serpentine and a monoclinic crystal system, but the hardness of one. So basically my fingernail, anything could scratch this. That is stunning. It also has weight to it. You wouldn't think it does, but it does. So anyway, I have not run across any other piece of this material, and I have it in an old box that someone had collected, and it's actually written on there, the Argonaut Quarry, Vermont. How about this item then? And let's feature this. Okay, for okay, I'll discount it. I'll give it a little bit of a. Let's make it $68. $68, and it's one of those. It's like, okay, the only place you're going to see anything this nice is, of course, like Mindat, and then wait a second. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, 68. That's all I could do. I was going to say, you see it at the places that may have it, and then you click on their site and you follow it, and then it's either sold. That means they got usually a good price for it, or the price is considerable, at least considerably more than what I have had something like that for. So take advantage. Now, let me show you item number 1150623. Here is another green item. Should have saved these for St. Patty's Day. Look at this parcel. Now, I'm not going to take these out. I don't think I need to. The parcel speaks for itself. Look at how well matched these are. Russian chrome diopside, and they're very well cut. Look at that. As I turn it, almost everyone, even in this, imperfect aligning of them in this plastic box, but they're aligned close enough that you can tell they are all cut to the same angles because they all start reflecting at the same time. Nicely done for emerald cuts, and a beautiful match. 10 stones, 6x4 millimeter, and of course the R word, Russian. And anymore, that means buy now or pay more later. So, yeah, and I have not been able to give these away for what they are. You didn't want them for only, and I looked these up, and they are not inexpensive. When you're talking about a match goods like that from my place I reference that sells inexpensive goods, they were way more than what I was asking the first time around, but that's okay. You didn't want them for the only 60, which was $10 a carat, okay? So, that's fine. I'll discount them. There, so let's see, what is, let me look at the weight. Doing my head, always dangerous. Round down some more. Here we go. $48. $48. Don't even know what that is price per carat. Really doesn't matter, because if you figure how many stones, 10 stones, the easier part of the math instead of price per carat is 10 stones into 48. I think I do that. $4.80 a stone, less than $5 a gem. And no, I don't have any others. So if you miss out on that parcel now, then you miss out on it altogether. How about the last? Oh no, you know what I'm going to do? Here we go. let's test out some of James, better known as Jack, on the camera today. A lot of people kind of out with illness, so we're breaking him in with some of the hardest material to shoot on the planet is what we do down here. So depth of field is everything, including this. We're going to start them off with this one. Item number 115-5824. 115-5824. And we're talking about dendritic quartz. And so all of you will instantly know what that is, but we have, well, we'll call him Jack. His name is kind of I'm finding out, a joke around here. All right, look at this. Dendritic quartz. Now, that's against the black. Now, we're going to do something magical and make it look like it really should by taking it right up against the white background as we bring it up here. Look at that. Okay, dendritic quartz. That looks like an organic matter. That looks just organic. I'll bring it to you then. And isn't that cool? Is that not cool? Look at the cut. Even the nicely cut beveled edge. See that bevel around there? So it keeps it from chipping. This actually looks like it could be a silver crystal, but it is most likely a manganese oxide. They always used to say, oh, pyrolusite, this kind of thing. It's not. Most of the time it's just another type of a form of manganese oxide without a specific name. Look at that. So turned this way, you really have a three-dimensional look. And it looks like it could be seaweed, part of a coral reef. Look at the cutting on that. It is exquisite. Let me get a little, well, I'll get a stand in a moment, but let me put it right against here so you get one other viewpoint. There we go. Now, that done as a custom pendant, if you wanted to have someone do that, or a ring, that really shows up wonderfully. Let me just sit it right there for the moment while I factor an opportunity for you money-wise. And for it to still even be available, I was surprised. So I think some people that week actually, it seems to me, and the bean counters, that some of you missed my presentation on some of these quartz stones. So, but you're gonna get the benefit of a discount on them, because why show them again at the same price? But usually, since I have so little room and they're already so far below market, I don't do that much of a discounting. But we're gonna pass it on anyway. So I see that I offered this at only $3 a carat before. Wow, that was like $87. My goodness. Okay, so I don't know how much a carat it'll be, but I know that if my goodness, for me to even buy that, this is so long ago, I have no idea what I paid, but I know if I had to repurchase something like that, it's already more than what I'm asking for them. So here, I like lucky numbers. So that's why you see the $87 was the old price, which of course, Asia, lucky number there is 8. The eastern part of the world, the lucky number is 7. So let's do this. Let's go from 87 and make it just a lucky double 7, $77 on that. And I would challenge you to find a finer piece of dendritic quartz than that. That is from my own personal collection, and there is just nothing like that available. Look at any angle. That is a showpiece. Now, item 11556. Okay, hold on. 1156624. 1156624. Now, this next one is James here on the camera. It's going to be mind blown because he's going to say, I have never seen anything like what I just saw. Jewelry and rings are boring. I want to show his stuff and, you know, just only film those amazing treasures from Mother Nature. Look at this. Manifestation quartz. And that is where quartz
touched by God.
Was touched by God. Exactly. This it should be named. It should be named the universe because that is what it really looks like between the streaks of rutile looking like shooting stars to the quartz completely forming around. Look at that. Around other quartz crystals. Can it get more magical than that? And of course, quartz, since the early on, was deemed magical. And of course, there was real scientific properties. Basically, the discovery of the radio has everything to do with, look at that, great job there. And quartz movements to a watch, meaning a battery movement. And look at that, look at that. So, boom, as I move my finger from behind it, helps it. Look at, you have little quartz crystals growing out of the top of this larger one that is within this entire cabochon. Then, look at all the rutile. Now, rutile, remember, is also what creates the star in a star sapphire and a star ruby, or any most star stones, is the inclusion of rutile. Look at this crystal down here. Look at that crystal. Beautifully shaped, perfect form, and just floating in the universe, it looks like. As we spin this, look at that. How did this piece not sell? Look, there's another crystal. This one had numerous smaller crystals as well that are dotted throughout, like right there. A number of them. Wow. This is an impressive piece, and let me put the light on it as James does his magic. Wow, look at that. Look at that. I could just stare into that for forever. Let me turn my light off and see the difference. There we go. You get to see, that's just fun the way it is for the moment. You get to see an entire another look at the universe because the light reflects off the rutile really well now. Isn't that neat? That is Mother Nature. All man did was cut the cabochon around those crystals. Okay, you want a deal? I'll make you a deal, but I tell you what, this is one of those, of course, no two are ever alike. And it is a one of those go find another one kind of deals. And that, because with the rutile in it, is exceptional. It's 45 carats. Wow. This I had made only a silly price of, again, it looks like not even $3 a carat. Wow. All right, so let's just do this. I'm going to make that one right now. Sale priced as low as it's ever going to be. So that means a F for a final price. And I'm going to make that one only $98. $98. Final opportunity. Okay, let me put a couple of these away. I'll be right back. All right, I'm bringing you another one. Look at this guy. Now, that is a combination of rutile and chlorite, which really makes for a splashy piece. And those golden rutile needles, of course, you know, they're coming out of the hematite. And when they come out in a 6-ray star, you can see some of them trying right there. Then you really have something valuable. So this gives you that, look at that, that burst of spray of rutile needles without that monstrous price that you would pay for some of the ones. I've sold some of the ones that are the sprays of 6-ray stars, and I've sold them for upwards of $1,300, $1,400. They can bring some big money. Look at that. Look at that. How neat is that? Mother Nature growing every one of those crystals, and you know what? I am putting together, I've been talking about it, so you know I'm just all of a sudden going to show up one day and do it. We're going to grow crystals here again like we did before. We really are. All right, price on this guy. Look at that. There's an excellent angle right there to for that to spin and stomp on. And wow, I had this offered 65 carats, so it was only $1.50 a carat, and no one grabbed it. That's why I say these things were priced the way they were priced that day. I don't think some of you showed up. So, but anyway, to your benefit, it was $98. What am I going to do? I am going to make it only a my auspicious numbers, making it $88. $88. I mean, when it's already that big, that's a 10% whatever discount. That when it's already priced well below the market is a really, really good opportunity. Okay, let's move on. I have, I have that helolite in quartz. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's look at item 1156024. And I don't want to forget, which I'm going to do in just a minute, flash in those special stones, the greenins. I'll show you those in a minute. Look at this guy. Now you talk about amazing, world-class, easily world-class dendritic quartz. And the polish and cut on this is so smooth. Look at that. So either side, you actually have a different look because that side is cut more flat, and with this concave, convex cutting on this side, it will give it a kind of a little bit more depth as I rotate that. And then look at this, you'll see that difference. This, a little bit sharper clarity, but it looks a little bit more two-dimensional. Look at that. That is by far, I've seen a lot of dendritic quartz, some of the finest. Now let me show you. I am looking, let me get my pointer, because I am looking at there it is. I thought it was gonna do that. When I was looking at that reflection against the white along here, I thought it may do exactly what you're seeing and why I took the white away. Wow, look at that. Now, that is when an inclusion makes an item more valuable, kind of like a horsetail inclusion. Look at the colors. Now, I could actually tell you, because we talked about what creates colors like that in garnets and whatnot, but no, we don't have time for that in this show. But look at that. So, and as I change the angle on this, you get a rainbow play, and when I change the angle to that, you get more of the blues, look at that, and the greens, which are part of the particular part of the spectrum versus the entire spectrum, which, okay, I'll stop there. I'll go rambling on and tell you everything about it anyway. That is beautiful. That is desirable. That is when it makes them more valuable than them not being there. So let me just rest that there for a moment so I can get you why not, a discounted price. That was only, only $198 for an 88 carat piece. So $2.25 a carat. $2.25 a carat. As beautiful as that is with that iris in there. And I still have it. Okay, well, let's do this then. Okay, let's just take off an even, make it $148, take off $50, whichever. I well, if it doesn't sell at that price, then I know somewhere else it will sell, because that is less than what I could replace that beauty for. Now, hold on. Oh yeah, one more quartz piece. This is, again, heaven on earth. Mother Nature. 1154824. 1154824. And it is stunning. That's why I think when I showed quartz that day, you didn't show up. Look at this. Look at this. This is from Burma. Look at how red the rutile is. That copper red color as the light glimmers off of it. Then, wait, you have vermicular chloride. Vermicular chloride. Have you ever seen vermiculite in your potting mix? Well, maybe you get an idea of what it does. Let me show you. Vermicular chloride is a chloride that forms and looks curled up, like a curled up worm. I'm looking at some of these irises in here. I'm going to show you, let me give you a little close in, there we go. Look at that. That is a stone. It's not a fossil. It is vermicular chloride. And then you can see all the others. All of these, look at that. Now that we're in closer, you can see them easier, and as I reflect the light off of them, then also look at the neat rutile with a coating of chloride possibly over it. Look at that. That has like a unusual fibrous end, like a tail, a horse tail. Wow. This is striking. Vermicular chloride, rare and unusual. Look at that. That almost. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And again, it's something you can just get your magnification out and look at it for a long, long time. There's so much to be seen, and who knows what new things that could be uncovered in that guy. Okay, I'm going to give you an amazing discounted opportunity on this one. I wanted to find a home. It was at 219 carats. It was only $274. So that sounds like what, $1.25 a carat or something. I don't know. Not a lot of money, but I am going to make it since 219 carats. You know, these items will sell for $3, $4, $5 a carat. Especially designers are buying them and using them in their jewelry, and I know that you've seen that done, without a doubt. So, okay, let's round it down, make it less, cut it in two, and divide by 5. We come out to $198. How's that grab you? $198. I do not, you do the math. All I know is if it weighs 219 carats, then that's less than $1 a carat. And that much I can figure out easily and quickly enough. Wow. I can tell you this, that kind of quality and material, not able to be replaced for that. That big of a piece of quartz, they only, they cut it intentionally as because they know it's worth putting the time into it. And you know how it comes out, they never know until it's finished. And just like faceting a stone, which reminds me about faceting a stone, I need to show you real quickly. No item numbers involved here, but I want to flash up. And I've had them sitting here in front of me, so I hope I know it didn't grow 3 eyes in between. The 2 echinites that are already sold, but I wanted to flash them in because you won't get a chance to see them again. I'll create item numbers on them, and they'll be shipped out in the middle of the week. So this was the first 2-carat one, and for James, who's never seen or heard probably anything like this, he's going to get a treat. And okay, so let me flash in a 2-carat echinite, one of the rarest and the most valuable radioactive gemstone there is on the planet, right there. And look at the cutting on this. This is excellently cut. I'm just glad that I wasn't the one sitting over it to cut it all that time. And here's the valuable thing, and I threw out those prices on this, not expecting anyone to buy them. So that's why they don't have the item numbers on them. But what they do have, well, look, see the clarity on that? That, even being metamixed, but the clarity is really sharp. It's not hazy. Let's see what that does. All right, so here in the regular world, here is our Geiger counter. It is, it's already picking it up. Normally in the 30 to 50 range, as I have my hand in front of it now, it's dropping it. So as I remove my hand and bring it into the stone, just showing you you're getting the real deal. These are in counts per minute. And as I put it over the stone, I'll let you listen. Over 2,000 counts per minute. And that is why it is for responsible collectors and not recommended for jewelry use. But for collectors, and talk about value, that can do nothing but go up one way, because you know what? There is a very limited supply. It was named after the person that found it, and the material is mined alluvially, and in other words, found as grains of pebbles that have been rounded in the creek, washed out long ago. Look at the cutting on this one again. Has a couple inclusions, but by way of the cloudiness to it, very still clean for being a metamixed stone, and the cutting is exceptional. Someone did a really, really fine job of the way they shaped that. A beautiful, large gem, and then we'll put that 2 of those together and have a little fun. Okay, so the real deal, because you put that over anything else. You know what? Let me check the big quartz. There we go. So a big old quartz like that, and yeah. So that is, now, that little ticking noise in Asif's headphones drives him nuts. So I know if I ever want to drive him nuts, I just secretly turn on my little Geiger counter back there, and he'll say, what's that ticking back? What's that ticking? And yeah. So those are set aside for you, already sold to Matt, and I'm glad you're a 65-year-old responsible gentleman that will just made a really wise buy. I thought I'd get away with getting to keep those, and it doesn't look like turned out. Okay, let me show you item 115, 5424. 115, 5424. And look at this. I am going to give you another chance. Those of you that really, look at this. Where And how can you find something, hold on one second, let me put those down, something so magnificent. Look at that. I mean, that looks like quartz grew around a branch of either seaweed or a deciduous branch out of the woods, but no, that is all minerals. That is all minerals. And wow, now let me see those reflections in there? Isn't that neat? Isn't that neat? Look at the blue. That looks like a winter night sky. Look at the snow coming down through the forest. Huh? Exactly. See that? Isn't that cool, James? He's filling in today, so he's seeing things that he has never seen before. And this is what we do down here. It is nothing but a learning experience. And so when we call this iris quartz, we can call it iris because you see those rainbows. Iris was the Greek goddess of the rainbow, and hence where it got its name. So again, you see these little reflections in here. And they will often, depending on the angle, create those wonderful, wonderful multicolored reflections. Okay, that is another stunning, world-class to museum quality dendritic quartz. I had this one at only, again, well below market. It was like $2 a carat, and here we go. It was like $140. So let's do this. Let's make this one only $118, and try to compare. Try to find anything even remotely similar for the same value. And I just would like to know, because I have not priced this stuff. I've had these items for a long, long time, and I don't know what I paid for them. I don't know what it would cost to even replace them. But I do know this. I do know that that kind of pricing is less than what you'll find anywhere else. Of course, even the Brazilian dealers want more than that. Indeed. Okay, now let me keep going here so time doesn't get away from me. The healerite, I'm just and here the demortierite, I'm in quartz. I'm going to show only one of each of those to give you a opportunity in case you missed out. 115-6324. 115-6324. And demortierite. So demortierite is often thought of also as the denim stone. But of course, the lazurite is often thought of as that as well. Look at those crystals. Look at those crystals. Tell me that is not some of the prettiest material for an inclusion in quartz. This was one of my favorite ones. So you can see how perfectly clear white the quartz is. With the blue demortierite, it was cut perfectly around and centered the demortierite at the bottom. I'm just, oops, and that's why sometimes God's tweezers, Mother Nature's tweezers, work so much better. Look at that, and then you have a inverse crystal indentation where that was. So that's the back side and the front side, perfect. And let me show you, with the back side, look at that. That diamond shape negative impression where that was. There we go, perfect. And then I will help you out. Look at that, it is a diamond shape. That looks like the Gem Shopping's new logo, as a matter of fact, even it's, the stone's even blue because the logo's blue. Isn't that cool? That is cool. I wonder, sell it to Gem Shopping for much more. The Vaca Morta Quarry. That sounds like, oh, Brazil is Portuguese, I speak Spanish, but I think we can translate that close enough, because vaca is cow and morta is close enough to muerto was death. Dead cow quarry. Seriously. That is how I would translate that in Portuguese. That crystal's beautiful. So you know what? I have two others, but that is the one that I would choose for you out of the three, but they're all really nice. And how about this? How about this? A price of only $38. $38 on that guy. And yeah, again, dumortierite in quartz, hand-picked by me. So you know you're going to get something, well, choice. Something choice. Okay, now, here we go. Oh, I always get so, okay, yes, here. 115-47-24. Here was another big surprise that I one sold, but I have one left. And it's one of those like, okay, again, go find one of these beauties easily. Check this out. Look at that. Talk about rhodochrosite, and you have to include the word Peruvian, because that and South Africa. South Africa has some stunning rhodochrosites. Peru as well. Now, I have to agree, Sweet Home rhodochrosites from Colorado have them both beat. But, nevertheless, these are amazing for color. The South African ones actually have a more orange type of color. Peruvian are a little bit closer in color to the Sweet Home material, especially you can see that here. Now, they also, from this one particular mine, the Achuchukua mine, this one, as we come around to the other side, this one has fluorites in it. So I'm seeing it looks like we have neodysite. The black material here is neodysite, which is a combination ore material. And look it up, because I bet you don't have any neodysite in your collection. So you can see multiple crystals along here. And then look up here. If you missed it, look at that guy perched right there. Is that not a beautiful, rare color, actually, because fluorite almost always has other colors than white or clear. In its calcium fluoride, in its pure state, it is clear, white. But that is rare that it is that in that pure color state. Look at that sitting right there. And then you have some more. And then you, in that crevasse, you could have other goodies in there. And then, let's see. Wow. Look at how showy that is. I mean, that is really facet grade material. Let me backlight that for just a moment and add a little bit more light to this and let's see what we get. Oh yeah, there we have beautiful color. Okay, so with the neodysite, the fluorite, the beautiful crystals of rhodochrosite, showy specimen. And you know, one like this, it really tempts me. You see that, of course, natural little fracture through there, but it stops. But you could wedge that apart. Now, you take a chance of the whole thing falling apart, but other than that, no. You know, that's where the crystals grow, in those wedges, in those pockets. You see, this wedge was big enough. Well, if it was big enough, look what you got to grow in there. Exactly. Okay, so this jewel, I am going to offer it at a amazing opportunity. And I'm even going to put this on a little bit of a sale price, so that should get your attention. Make it only $128. $128 on that. And a excellent value. Now, if you already have rhodochrosite, but you don't have a Peruvian rhodochrosite, then there's your reason right there to add that to your collection to get another source material, another origin. How about this for another unusual origin? 101 9021. 101 9021. And you know, this is a huge surprise. It's extremely rare. And the material I find that is offered for sale is usually as cut cabochones. And once you cut it, you cannot actually identify the origin. Look at this. This is made in the USA opal. And that is rare enough in itself to be an opal from the United States. You know, you have Virgin Valley, you have a couple of places, but Spencer, Idaho was one of the primary places. Look at the fire in that. Look at the color and the fire. And that's not wet or anything. I put some water on the bottom so we could try to look into this. But this is just from the natural conchoidal fracture of it. And here, let me put this, there we go. And then look at that. So you have your typical bands of color that you cut down to bring it out. And so the way I see this Spencer, Idaho opal being offered is as cabochones, many of them with just a flat top, because the thickness of the layer of color isn't thick enough to do a big dome cap, which would improve the value and look. But here's the thing. So you get a white opal with splashes of color like this in it. Once it is away from the matrix, you cannot tell whether that opal was mined in Spencer, Idaho, or whether it was a Cooper Pedy opal or a White Cliffs opal. In other words, basically an Australian opal. You can't tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. The only way you can tell the difference in opal is from the matrix. As soon as I see this type of matrix, it's a giveaway that it is not Australian. And this is a large piece of, look at this, large piece of solid, cuttable quality opal with fire throughout. Look at this. This is all the way to the other side. And you can see those bands of color, look at that, go around the entire piece. So if you wanted to, you could cut a big cabochon, a couple of them, take your saw down through it this way. Now, the other thing this has is hyalite. Hyalite is opal that can fluoresce from presence of uranium oxide molecules within its structure. And your hyalite won't have any play of color, but it does. But it is still technically opal. Now, let me see on this piece. I'm still looking at those wonderful bands of color in this. So it's often seen as little botryoidal silica. Wow, look at that. Look at all that color type of formation. And I had two pieces of it. One of them had the highlight and the other did it, but there we go. You look for little clear areas. This one you might have to do a little searching for it, but it's not the primary part that is interesting. The interesting part is this stunning play of color. So Spencer opal from Idaho. This you can see as we come away from it just how large it is in my hand, and a big collectible piece. And oh, here you can see the hyalite. Hyalite is, the rhyolite. They sound the same. The rhyolite, you can see the banding here, is a volcanic origin matrix. The matrix for all of Australian opal has nothing to do with volcanic origin. It has everything to do more with sedimentary deposition and whatnot, and it's looks completely different from this. So that's why, with the matrix in place, you know where it's from. Once that matrix is gone, you can label it anything you want, and you would not be able to tell the difference. I'm going to sale price this. I already had marked it down to only $188. That's a stunning item. I'm going to let that go for only $148, and that's a final opportunity for someone to grab that at a discounted price like that. Okay, let me see. I'm going to showcase one helolite now in quartz. Several of the others had sold, so in case you missed out, like many of those other pieces, I am going to give you a chance. Let's look at 1157224. Let me type that in myself. 1157224. Yep. And so, look at this. Now, helolite is a very unique and rare mineral, first named after Gila, Arizona, where it was discovered. And look at this. So this is drilled, it is in quartz, and it forms these wonderful radial crystal formations. And that is real unique. And when you look at this with magnification, it is a stunning. Let's see if we can't look into there. There we go. Great job there. Let me put a little. There we go. Extra light. Look at those. Look at those. You can see the hole, so you can see the size. Great camera work there. The greenish blue and the blue colors, and wow, wow. Again, discovered not that too long ago. Wow, look at that. Look at those. Now, thank you, sir, wonderful job. How can you, look at that, even against, that would be like as if it was against your skin. Look at how wonderful they stand out. If anybody that knows their quartz, they would know and would instantly say, that's helolite. And you would. These come from Paraíba, Brazil. Same place that, yes, the famous Paraíba tourmalines come from. And isn't it odd, or maybe not, that they are the same color range as the incredible tourmalines? Copper has something to do with both. And this, look at that. I love when things like that stand up. Copper has something to do with both, and the, wow, isn't that pretty? There we go. It took my words away. Yeah, so copper is involved with both. This is a rare stone, rare, and it is already faceted and drilled because they can fall apart through the process. And what a beautiful piece. How about this? I had it for only $77. Well, I can tell you this, $68 on sale. That is a final opportunity on that guy. Wow. This, what a beaut. Now, so many things to show and so little time to go. Let me show you. How about, you want the last parcel of, no, never mind, you don't want that. How about this? Item number 1099423. You know all that jade sold last week? The jade toilet paper holder, and yes, James is looking at me as like, you guys sell toilet paper holders down here? Yes, we did, and we sold out. We had one. We also, though, had 4 towel hangers if that's whatever you call them, and they all 4 sold. So I got to see what Miss Gabby's going to do with that jade toilet paper holder. Now that everyone knows, they're going to go to her guest bathroom, I'm sure. No, put that in the master bathroom. What, jade? That's like for royalty. So speaking of jade, look at these nephrite boulders. And these straight from Alaska alluvial mining, and you can see the rounded nature of them. Now, you can also get a rounded effect from items from glaciation, from glaciers running over a jade deposit. But a lot of these, with that little bit of a light polish, can occur naturally in a stream, because you know why? These are hardness around 6.5. Quartz, what mostly flows is in the streams, hardness of 7. It's just enough difference in hardness that it can develop and apply and put a polish on something something that will take a polish if it is dense enough and not too porous, like most other river gravel is, but not when it comes to jade. Look at that. So that's a wonderful natural river polish, 2 nice pieces, and I have these just marked for someone to pick up and add to their collection. And quite the deal, if I could probably read my writing. I haven't showed those before, have I, Oscar? There's not a price in there, is there?
I do have a price.
Okay, what's that price?
$10.
Oh, only $10. Make it $9 for the 2. I try not to have any single-digit items, but I'm sure if you get those, you'll add something to your list so that you can cost average down your shipping. And they have great pricing on shipping anyway. Diamonds, 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 but we don't have time to show those. Those will have to be for another time. But I will give you an opportunity for those that have missed out on, well, this. And you're saying, what is this? Well, let me just plop it right out there before I have any info on it. Here we go. So you can be looking at it. Does that not go wonderful? You know what it is even before I speak about what that is, because we already showed you one earlier. We showed you one earlier. You're saying, no, you didn't show me anything like that. Yeah, we didn't show you anything quite like that, but chemically, it is the same thing. This is item number 115-1724. 115-1724. And who would have thunk that that is the same thing as that beautiful Peruvian rhodochrosite? Yeah, rhodochrosite, except this is formed, instead of growing as a crystal, it is more deposited as a stalactite type of thing in a slow deposition. So it creates these eyes, kind of like malachite. Now, this isn't even wet. This is just the way it looks after it's been sawed. Let me look at that. You can look at that color, that blood red color, and this is even quite thick. So that is translucent. This would cut some beautiful cabochones, and it's just a wonderful manganese carbonate. See this? So water doesn't even make a difference. It actually beads up on it. That's kind of neat. Now, as you get into some of these other colors, like this in the corner, see that? So that can be calcite, probably calcite, which is a calcium carbonate, or there could be siderite, which is an iron carbonate. So you get some of these carbonates, they can form and grow together. This is a unique, rare slab. For those of you with a flat lap polisher, and I happen to know that I think Charles got one for Christmas or whatnot from Heidi, this would be an incredible piece to put a natural, real polish on. That's the one side. Look at the other side. Oh, yeah, especially with that corner. There's that corner I'm talking about. What a neat, showy way. You see those wonderful circle patterns, which is what you want. I had this, and no one got it. I guess you know what? It's going to be meant for whoever gets it at the discounted price of only $77 now. It was more than that. It was 88, but I tell you what, at 77, don't think it can be any lower than that without me just really costing me a bigger loss than I wanted, because again, I know for a fact that piece is decades old that I have had it. Yeah, decades. And that is a long time. Now, I'm not going to get a chance to show you those insects, but here, let me show you this. This is stunning. Used to always finish the show with a zeolite. Let's see how far this takes us. Item 115, 3724. Here is a zeolite. Now, a lot of you know that zeolites now soak up the world's oil, and the world's, it is the filter to the world. It really is. When you learn the properties of zeolites and exactly what all they can do as a mineral, it's stunning. Okay, this is amazing, and we're going to look at this in a closer manner. We'll take the light away for a moment. Okay, so what we have, you can see, is a mix of crystals. Let me put some light on that. And what you have are these incredible apopholites. These beautiful, beautiful, beautiful apopholite crystals. And then you have the pink, which is the stilbite. The stilbite crystals, and over the top of them are all these apopholites. Look at these. Okay, so you have this classic shape for apopholite. More some of these squared off. Look at that. See those big squared off? Look at that. Look at that big rectangular block. And look at the clarity to some of these. And as we keep moving around on this, you can see that the apopholite coats the incredible pink stilbite pretty much everywhere with large and small crystals. So it really gives some of the white crystals the look of a pinkish look, but then because some of these are so large, they they carry their own color without any distinction of the pink, and you get that beautiful pink white. Look at this where it's almost what they call a sandwich, where you get a clear exterior portion and then a more opaque. You can find that type of formation in the vanadinites. It's more rare in the apopholites. Look at these. Look at this formation. And as I turn this piece around, this is a stunning, stunning piece to explore. Look at that. You have multiple different habits or formations of them. And then look at the stilbite here. So I'm going to pick this up for a moment, and James is just going to kind of follow me here. So you can see the bottom. You can see the bottom where you have the spray of stilbites. So you didn't really get to see that from the other angle. Look at this. So you have the apopholites just wrapping around. The stilbite crystals spraying out and away, and then on the top you have the same thing. So you have all these stilbite sprays, tough to distinguish because you have all the apopholites growing on top of them, including, look at these, just some sitting right on top of them, and then down in the pockets. This is in excellent, excellent condition. There is really no major damage or anything like that that I've seen on it. And then up here in this corner, you have, look at the large apopholites there. Look at how large that is. And a little different form on this one for the apopholites than we've seen on other pieces. So this is a cabinet quality size. And I tell you what, I have seen museums with worse quality specimens. I won't quite call this a museum, but it is certainly a world-class specimen. And again, for some museums, it would definitely be, So here's the amazing opportunity I have on this is, for one, my cheapskate self is going to include one of these super fancy, expensive stands. Let me show you this stand. Look at that, huh? And this is adjustable. Yep. I'm really breaking it out when I offer you a stand like that. And the discount on this, since I don't know what it's sold for originally. Okay, here we go. I am, wow. Okay, I'm going to do this. If you've ever wanted a major, see, like, let me show you my hand. Look at my hand. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. That's a stunning piece. $188. Only $188. Exceptional value. And you know what? We're going to finish with that. That's the last item of the show. I'll be right back with the trivia. Okay. Had a lot of fun. I mean, I told Austin, I said, shoot, I just need to plop him next to me, and you know, he needs to remote control the show from here. He's got some real zingers. He's been around this stuff for so long that he could just about crack a joke in there about anywhere.
Long in the tooth, huh?
Long in the tooth, that's right. It might be an elasmosaur tooth even, huh?
I'm the long in the tooth, you're the laughing of tooth.
Ah! Wow, gotta watch him. Gotta watch him. The elasmosaur, somebody bought that wonderful tooth, that fossil tooth that I don't have another one of. So saw some other goodies sold, so take advantage of. So here we go. Question number 1. All right, so let's see how clever all of you are. Because Asif came up with this one. What was I discussing and showing when I mentioned that there would be a good trivia question from the presentation at the time? So, what was I discussing and showing when I mentioned that there would be a good trivia question from the presentation that I was making at the time?
And have them guess what that trivia question could be.
And then, if you know, take a shot at what might that question actually be. It's something that would come to mind. So I am mind reading it to you. So let's see how well you do on that. Question number 2. Name the 3 carbonate minerals that could be part of the pink slab that I featured. So from that slab, there of course is the pink material, the pink carbonate, but there was 2 other potential ones that I mentioned that could be associated with it as well. Name all 3 of them. Okay, good luck with that. I tell you what, the way I heard the birds chirping this morning and a little bit of warmth, and I tell you what, it seemed like it was coming too soon, the spring word, because after spring comes the heat, and not ready for that at all. And I got a bunch of yard work, or at least the HOA tells me I have a bunch of yard work to do. Whoops. So anyway, more importantly is to do some rock hunting, to run some of that dirt through the sluice. Yeah, the important stuff. Who cares what those 4 pages of honeydews the HOA thinks I should be, you know, spending my time doing? Huh. All right. I love y'all. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I'm glad you got to enjoy and these items. Take advantage of these really rare quartz included stones. I thought you liked them more than that, but maybe you were just waiting for that discount, which you have. I have a stunning show planned for you next week as well. I already know a good bit of what's going to be in it. And I think it's going to be one of those wowzer shows. So, all right. Take care of each other. And, yeah, take care of each other. Love one another. Hug one another. And be kind to one another. And pay it all forward. God bless. See you next week. Cheers.